One last Apple thing I wanted to touch on was the headset. I didn't think we were going to talk about it again so quickly, but it seems like there's a lot of news going around about it that the announcement of it could be imminent, in the sense of imminent being in the next couple of months. I'm still having trouble wrapping my head around the use case of this device. The only way a wearable like that makes sense to me is that it has to be as least intrusive as possible on your experience, or it's a fully immersive experience that you just sit down with, and then you put it on and you take it off. I guess Apple has a history of showing how it can be done, because they would have had it in the lab for 20 years, cooking away at it, and they don't release it until it's ready. Now, I don't know whether it's all just clickbait news or whatever to try and generate interest in this type of Apple news, whether or not we actually see this headset this year. I'm going to be watching this one particularly closely this year, because out of all it's funny, after the iPhone and the iPad, which were huge breakthrough products for Apple, I didn't think the Apple Watch set the world on fire as their next big product category. And to me, I just think the headset seems even less likely to. It seems too future a product to really generate a lot of immediate interest.
Look, I think for Apple, it's a safe bet where what they can do is they can, create this headset, and then as the use case comes around, they have a headset ready to go. If anyone wants to use it, probably for Meta or something like that, I'm sure they can. I mean, it's much less of a risk for them to develop a product like this, as you say, which they've probably had in the lab for 10 years anyway, than say it is for Meta, which is trying to develop the hardware and the environment, basically on its own. Whereas if you just develop the hardware, and Google already has hardware as well like this, as these environments come online through our digital interactions, then you've got the hardware and the product, branding that allows you to sell your product. So I think what we're seeing probably Apple and Google do in this space is just wait for the software or the sort of app developers to create the environments where these headsets actually have some function, rather than trying to guess what the function is and drive the whole industry that way.
And it probably goes to show that it's a lot harder than what anyone thinks, that given that we haven't actually seen it yet. Google Glass was how long ago? It's something that has been talked about for decades, really, VR, etc. But the fact that there still hasn't been a product that's really nailed it out of the gate, I'm sure a lot of people will be looking for Apple to do that, given the history of what Apple's released, but it'll be interesting to watch.
It certainly will be. I guess that's something that we'll look to this year.